$10 billion in 3 seconds. That's what Amara Okafor just made standing in the back of a Seoul auction house wearing borrowed shoes and a dress she got from a thrift store. She's 23 years old, grew up in a village in Enugu State, Nigeria, with no electricity, can barely read Korean, and she just outbid every millionaire in the room. The problem? She has exactly $47 in her bank account, and the man she just accidentally challenged? Kang Tae-hyun, Seoul's most dangerous mafia boss. He's never lost an auction in his life. He doesn't lose at anything. But in 3 seconds, this rural girl from Nigeria is about to change his entire world, and by the end of tonight, he'll be the one begging her to let him take care of her. Real quick, smash that subscribe button right now. This channel is growing like crazy because of viewers like you, and I need to know where you're watching from. Drop your country in the comments. Last video had 68 countries represented. Let's break that record. Now let me tell you how a girl with no money became a billionaire, and how the most dangerous man in Seoul became completely obsessed with her. 12 hours earlier, Amara Okafor is cleaning toilets in a luxury hotel in Gangnam. This is her third job. Morning shift at a restaurant, afternoon at a convenience store, night shift cleaning hotel rooms. She's been in Seoul for 8 months. Came here on a student visa to study business, but her scholarship fell through after 1 semester. Couldn't afford to go home. Too proud to tell her family she failed. So she stayed, works these jobs, sends money back to her village every month, even though she's barely surviving herself. Tonight, she's cleaning the penthouse suite on the 48th floor. The kind of room that costs more per night than she makes in a month. She's emptying the trash when she sees it. An invitation, heavy cardstock, gold-embossed lettering. It says, "Exclusive auction, Samsung Art Center, tonight, 8 p.m., admission by invitation only." Amara stares at it. She's never been to an auction, barely knows what they are, but the invitation is beautiful, and for just a moment she imagines what it would be like to be the kind of person who gets invited to things like this. She's about to throw it away when she notices something else, a dress, hanging in the closet. Tags still on. Someone bought it and never wore it. Size small. Amara is size small. And shoes, expensive heels. Also her size. Amara knows what she's thinking is crazy. She could lose her job, get arrested. But something in her, some wild, desperate part, thinks, what if I just went? Just to see. Just for an hour. Nobody would know. At 7:45 p.m., Amara walks out of that hotel in a $10,000 dress and $2,000 shoes. Her heart is pounding. She's terrified. But she's also never felt more alive. She takes the subway to Samsung Art Center because she definitely can't afford a taxi. Shows up at 8:03 p.m. Hands the invitation to the security guard. He barely glances at it. Waves her through. And just like that, Amara Okafor, from a village with no electricity, is walking into Seoul's most exclusive auction. The auction room is like something from a movie. Crystal chandeliers, velvet seats, people wearing more money than Amara has seen in her entire life. She finds a seat in the very back. Tries to make herself invisible. The auction starts. Paintings, jewelry, antiques, things Amara doesn't understand, but prices that make her head spin. 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. People bidding like it's nothing. Then they bring out item number 17. A rare Joseon Dynasty jade pendant, the auctioneer announces in Korean. 500 years old, once owned by Queen Moonjong. Starting bid, 200 million won. Amara doesn't understand most of the Korean, but she sees the pendant on the screen. It's beautiful, glowing green, carved with intricate patterns. It looks exactly like the necklace her grandmother wore, the one that got stolen when Amara was 7. the one her grandmother cried over for months before she died. Amara's throat tightens. She's staring at that pendant, lost in memories, when the auctioneer says something in Korean. 200 million won. Going once. Amara doesn't realize what's happening. Going twice. A man in the front row has his paddle raised. He looks pleased with himself, like he's already won. That man is Kang Tae-hyun, Seoul's most powerful crime boss. He's been collecting Joseon Dynasty artifacts for 10 years. This pendant will complete his collection. Nobody else is bidding because nobody wants to challenge him. The auctioneer raises his gavel. Sold to... And that's when Amara's hand shoots up. She doesn't mean to. She's just reaching to wipe her eyes because she's about to cry thinking about her grandmother. But her hand with the paddle goes up, high, visible. The entire room goes silent. The auctioneer blinks. We have a new bid, 250 million won. Amara's eyes widen in horror. She just bid 250 million won. That's about $200,000. She has $47 in her account. She tries to lower her hand, but Tae-hyun has turned around in his seat. He's looking directly at her. Their eyes meet across the room. Tae-hyun is 40 years old, tall, expensive suit, the kind of handsome that's dangerous. And he's staring at this girl in the back row who just challenged him like she doesn't know who he is. He raises his paddle. 300 million. The auctioneer looks at Amara. Do we have 350 million? Amara should say no, should put her paddle down, should run out of there. But Tae-hyun is still staring at her. And something in his expression, like he already owns that pendant, like he already owns everything, makes something stubborn wake up in Amara. She raises her paddle again. 350 million, the auctioneer announces. Gasps ripple through the room. Nobody challenges Kang Tae-hyun. Nobody. Tae-hyun's eyes narrow. He raises his paddle. 500 million. Amara's hands are shaking. This is insane, but she's already in it now. She raises her paddle. 550 million. The auctioneer's voice is getting excited. 550 million won from the young lady in the back. Tae-hyun stands up, turns fully to face Amara. Everyone in the room is watching now. This is the most interesting thing that's happened at an auction in years. 1 billion won, Tae-hyun says. His voice carries across the room, deep, authoritative. 1 billion won, almost $800,000. Amara should stop. She knows she should stop. But that pendant looks so much like her grandmother's necklace, and Tae-hyun looks so certain he's won. So she does something completely insane. She stands up too, looks him directly in the eye, and says in English because her Korean isn't good enough, 10 billion won. The room explodes. 10 billion won. Almost $8 million. The auctioneer looks like he might faint. Did she just say 10 billion? Amara nods. Her heart is trying to beat out of her chest. Everyone looks at Tae-hyun, waiting. He could outbid her. He has the money, but he's not looking at the pendant anymore. He's looking at Amara, this girl in the borrowed dress who just bet $8 million like it's nothing. This girl who's staring him down like she's not afraid. Tae-hyun does something he's never done at an auction. He lowers his paddle. Sold, the auctioneer shouts. 10 billion won to the young lady in the back. Congratulations, miss. Amara's legs almost give out. What did she just do? The auctioneer is smiling. Please come to the office after the auction to complete your payment. Payment. Right. The $8 million she doesn't have. Amara is about to pass out when Tae-hyun starts walking toward her. Everyone in the room watches him move up the aisle. He stops directly in front of Amara. Up close, he's even more intimidating, at least 6'2", broad shoulders, face that looks carved from stone. but his eyes are sharp, intelligent, curious. "That was interesting," he says in perfect English. "What's your name?" Amara's mouth is dry. "Amara. Just Amara. Amara Okafor." Tae-hyun studies her face, her dress, her shoes. He sees everything. "You're not from here." "Nigeria," Amara says, "and you just bid 10 billion won on a pendant." "It's not a question, it's an observation." "Do you have 10 billion won, Amara, from Nigeria?" This is it. This is where she gets arrested, humiliated, deported. "No," Amara admits. Her voice is barely a whisper. "I have $47. Tae-hyun's eyebrow raises. Just slightly. "Then why did you bid?" "I don't know," Amara says honestly. "It looked like my grandmother's necklace. And you looked so sure you'd win. And I don't know." For 3 seconds, Tae-hyun just stares at her. Then he does something nobody expects. He laughs. Really laughs. Rich and genuine and surprised. "You bid $8 million because I looked too confident," Tae-hyun says. "That's the most interesting reason I've ever heard." "I'm sorry," Amara says quickly. "I'll tell them I made a mistake. I'll leave." "I'm so sorry." "Don't apologize," Tae-hyun interrupts. "That was the most fun I've had in years." He pulls out his phone, makes a call in rapid Korean, hangs up. "The pendant is paid for." Amara blinks. "What?" "I just paid your bid," Tae-hyun explains. 10 billion won. The pendant is yours. But I can't accept that. That's $8 million. "Consider it a gift," Tae-hyun says, "for being brave enough to challenge me. Nobody's done that in a very long time." He's still standing close. Too close. Amara can smell his cologne. Expensive. Woodsy. "I don't understand," Amara says. "Why would you do that?" Tae-hyun looks at her like he's trying to solve a puzzle. "Because you're interesting, and I don't meet interesting people often." He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a business card. Hands it to her. "Have dinner with me tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll send a car." "I can't," Amara says automatically. "I have to work." "Call in sick," Tae-hyun suggests. "Or don't. Either way, I'll send the car to your address." He pauses. "What is your address?" Amara shouldn't tell him. This man is clearly dangerous. Clearly too powerful. Clearly everything her mother warned her about. But he just spent $8 million to buy her a pendant because it reminded her of her grandmother. "I live in Nowon District," Amara says quietly. "Small apartment building. Number 47-3. Tae-hyun nods. "The car will be there at 7:30. Wear something comfortable. We're not going anywhere fancy." He walks away before Amara can argue. Just like that, leaving her standing in the auction room holding a business card and wondering what just happened. The auction house assistant comes over with a velvet box. "Your pendant, miss. Congratulations." Amara opens the box. The jade glows under the lights. It's the most beautiful thing she's ever owned. The most expensive thing she'll ever own. And it was bought by a stranger who she just challenged for no good reason. Amara walks out of that auction house in a daze, takes the subway home because she still can't afford a taxi, sits in her tiny apartment and stares at the pendant and the business card. The card just says, Kang Tae-hyun, and a phone number. She Googles his name, and that's when her blood runs cold. Kang Tae-hyun, CEO of Kang Enterprises. But that's just the public face. In private, he runs the Kang Syndicate, one of Seoul's most powerful crime families. He's been investigated 17 times. Never convicted. Too smart, too protected, too dangerous. Amara just challenged a Mafia boss to a bidding war, and now he wants to have dinner with her. She should run, should leave Seoul, should never speak to him again. But when she looks at the pendant, at this $8 million gift, she thinks, maybe one dinner won't hurt. Just to say thank you. Just to be polite. She has no idea that one dinner will change her entire life. If you're enjoying this story, hit that like button right now and drop a comment telling me if you think Amara should go to dinner or run away. And keep watching because what happens next is absolutely wild. The next night, 7:30 p.m. exactly, there's a knock on Amara's door. She opens it to find a man in a suit. Professional. Polite. Miss Okafor, Mr. Kang sent me. The car is waiting. Amara looks down at her outfit. Jeans, a nice blouse, her only nice blouse. Sneakers because her feet are still sore from the heels last night. Is this okay? She asks. He said somewhere comfortable. You look perfect, miss. The car is not a car. It's a Mercedes. Black. Pristine. The kind of vehicle Amara has only seen in movies. They drive for 20 minutes, not to a fancy restaurant, to a small neighborhood in Hongdae. The driver parks in front of what looks like someone's home, a traditional Korean house, Hanok style. Mr. Kang is inside, the driver says, opening her door. Amara walks through the gate into a small courtyard. There are paper lanterns, a small garden, and there, sitting at a low table, is Tae-hyun. He's not wearing a suit tonight, just dark pants and a simple shirt, sleeves rolled up. He looks younger, less intimidating, almost normal. You came, he says, standing up. He sounds genuinely pleased. You spent $8 million on me, Amara points out. Felt rude not to show up. Tae-hyun smiles. Fair point. Come, sit. I hope you're hungry. Amara sits across from him. The table is already set with multiple dishes, Korean food. Some she recognizes, some she doesn't. I didn't know what you liked, Tae-hyun admits. So I ordered too much. If you don't like Korean food, I love Korean food, Amara interrupts. I've been eating kimchi and rice for 8 months. It's all I can afford. Tae-hyun's expression shifts. You've been in Seoul for 8 months? Yes, came for university. Scholarship fell through. Now I work 3 jobs and eat rice twice a day. Amara doesn't know why she's telling him this. Why did you want to have dinner with me? Because you're interesting, Tae-hyun says again. And because you challenged me yesterday, and I want to know why. I told you why? The pendant looked like my grandmother's? No, Tae-hyun interrupts gently. I mean, why did you really challenge me? You knew you couldn't pay. You knew it was risky. But you did it anyway. Why? Amara is quiet for a moment. Then she says honestly, because you looked like you always win. And I'm so tired of people who always win. I'm tired of rich people and powerful people who just take whatever they want, because they can. And for 3 seconds I wanted to beat someone like that, even if it meant lying, even if it was stupid. Tae-hyun leans back, studies her face. You think I always win? Don't you? Yes, he admits. I do, but it's lonely. Winning all the time. Nobody challenges you. Nobody surprises you. Everything becomes predictable. Poor you, Amara says before she can stop herself. Must be so hard having everything. Instead of getting angry, Tae-hyun laughs again. That same genuine laugh from yesterday. You don't like me? I don't know you, Amara corrects, but I Googled you. I know what you do, what your family does. And yet you're here. You bought me an $8 million necklace, Amara says. I'm poor, not rude. Tae-hyun pours her tea. Tell me about your grandmother, the one whose necklace the pendant looked like. And somehow, sitting there in that quiet courtyard, Amara does. She tells him about growing up in Enugu, about her grandmother who raised her after her parents died, about the jade necklace that got stolen. about how her grandmother never stopped looking for it until she died. Tae-hyun listens. Really listens. Asks questions. Seems genuinely interested. Then Amara asks, "Why did you buy it for me?" Really, nobody spends $8 million on a stranger out of kindness. Tae-hyun is quiet for a long moment. My mother collected Joseon Dynasty artifacts. She died when I was 15. I've been buying pieces ever since, trying to complete her collection. That pendant was the last piece I needed. Then why did you let me have it? Because you wanted it for love, Tae-hyun says simply. I wanted it for completion. Love is a better reason. Amara stares at him, this dangerous mafia boss who just said the most unexpectedly beautiful thing. You're not what I expected, she admits. Neither are you, Tae-hyun says. I expected you to use the pendant to try to get money from me, to sell it, to leverage it somehow. But you didn't. You just accepted it and said thank you. Why would I leverage it? Because that's what people do in my world, Tae-hyun explains. Everything is a transaction. Everyone wants something. I don't want anything from you, Amara says. That's why you're interesting, Tae-hyun replies. They eat, talk. Hours pass without Amara noticing. Tae-hyun tells her about growing up in the Kang family, about inheriting a business he never wanted, about learning to be hard because soft people don't survive. Amara tells him about her dreams of opening a business, about sending money to her village, about feeling stuck between two worlds, too Nigerian for Korea, too Korean for Nigeria now. By the time dessert comes, Amara has forgotten she's talking to a criminal. She's just talking to someone who listens, who understands, who makes her laugh. I should go, Amara says finally, checking the time. I have work at 6 a.m. All 3 jobs? Tae-hyun asks. Just 2 tomorrow. I get Sundays off from the hotel. Tae-hyun stands up. Let me offer you something, and before you say no, just listen. Amara tenses. What? Quit all 3 jobs, Tae-hyun says. Come work for me instead. As what? A criminal? As my cultural consultant, Tae-hyun says. I'm expanding my legitimate businesses into African markets, Nigeria specifically. I need someone who understands both cultures, who can help me navigate the differences. It's a real job, real salary, nothing illegal. How much? 10 million won a month, Tae-hyun says. That's about $8,000, more than Amara makes in 6 months at her 3 jobs combined. That's too much, Amara says immediately. It's market rate for what I need, Tae-hyun counters. You'd work normal hours, have benefits, health insurance, and you could finish your degree. I'd pay for it. Amara's head is spinning. Why would you do this? Because you're talented and wasting it cleaning toilets, Tae-hyun says bluntly. Because I need someone I can trust, who'll tell me the truth instead of what I want to hear. And because I like you. You don't know me. I know enough, Tae-hyun says. You're honest, smart, brave enough to challenge me with $47 in your account. That's more than most people with millions. Amara wants to say no, knows she should say no, but $8,000 a month, finishing her degree, not working herself to death. One condition, Amara says. If I ever feel uncomfortable, if anything seems illegal, I can quit immediately. No questions asked. Agreed, Tae-hyun says. They shake hands. His hand is warm, strong. He holds on just a second too long. Start Monday, Tae-hyun suggests. Monday, Amara agrees. The driver takes her home. Amara lies in bed that night thinking she just made either the best or worst decision of her life. She has no idea it's about to become both. Monday morning, Amara shows up at Kang Enterprises at 9 a.m. The building is massive, glass and steel. The receptionist is expecting her. Miss Okafor, Mr. Kang is waiting in his office, 43rd floor. Amara takes the elevator up, steps out into an office that looks like something from a magazine. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, and Tae-hyun at his desk, looking every bit the powerful CEO. "You came," he says, standing up. "You're paying me $8,000 a month," Amara points out. "Of course I came." He shows her to her office. Not a cubicle, an actual office, with a window, a desk, a computer. "This is too much," Amara says. "This is standard," Tae-hyun corrects. "Your job is to review my expansion plans for the Nigerian market, find cultural issues, suggest adjustments. Be honest. I don't want yes men. I want truth." For the next 3 weeks, Amara does exactly that. She reviews business plans, attends meetings, challenges ideas that won't work in Nigeria, suggests alternatives, and Tae-hyun listens, actually listens, implements her suggestions, treats her like an equal. But there's something else happening, something neither of them is addressing. The way Tae-hyun always brings her coffee exactly how she likes it, even though she never told him. The way he asks about her day, the way he makes excuses to stop by her office, the way Amara's heart speeds up when she hears his voice, the way she catches herself looking at him during meetings, the way she stays late just because he's still working. One evening, 3 weeks in, they're the last ones in the office. It's past midnight. They're reviewing contracts. "You should go home," Tae-hyun says. "You've been here for 15 hours. "So have you," Amara points out. "I live here," Tae-hyun jokes. Then, more seriously, "Are you happy with the job?" "Yes," Amara says honestly. "It's the first time I've felt like myself since I came to Seoul." "Good," Tae-hyun says. He hesitates. "Can I ask you something personal?" "Depends on the question." "Why did you really come to Seoul? You said scholarship, but there had to be more. Nobody moves across the world just for school." Amara is quiet. Then, "My village. It has no electricity, no running water, no opportunities. I watched my grandmother die because we couldn't afford medicine. I watched my friends get married at 15 because there were no other options. I came to Seoul because I wanted proof that I could be more than my circumstances, that I could build something better." "And have you?" Tae-hyun asks softly. "I'm working for a Mafia boss and eating instant noodles less frequently," Amara says. "So, yes?" Tae-hyun laughs. Then he says, "You're not working for a Mafia boss. You're working for someone who inherited a legacy he's trying to make legitimate. There's a difference." "Is there?" "I hope so," Tae-hyun says. He looks at her across the desk. "Amara, I need to tell you something." Her heart stops. "What?" "These 3 weeks," Tae-hyun says slowly. "Having you here, it's been the best 3 weeks I've had in years. You make me laugh, you challenge me. You see me as a person, not just a name or a title or a threat." Tae-hyun. "I know I shouldn't say this," he continues. "You work for me. There's a power imbalance. It's inappropriate. But I can't stop thinking about you. And I don't want you to quit. But I also can't lie anymore. So I'm telling you, I have feelings for you. Real feelings. And if that makes you uncomfortable, I'll never mention it again. We'll just be professional." But I had to tell you the truth. Amara sits there, processing. This powerful man just made himself completely vulnerable. "I have feelings for you too," she finally says. "I've been trying to ignore them because this is the best job I've ever had, and I don't want to mess it up. But every time you walk into a room, I notice. Every time you smile, I feel it. And that scares me." "Why does it scare you?" "Because you're you," Amara says. "And I'm me. You're a billionaire CEO from one of Korea's most powerful families. I'm a girl from a village with no electricity who cleaned your hotel rooms a month ago. This doesn't make sense." Tae-hyun stands up, walks around the desk, kneels down beside her chair so they're at eye level. "None of the best things in my life have made sense," he says quietly. "My mother collecting art, me buying you that pendant, you challenging me at that auction. None of it made sense. But it all led here, to you, and that makes all the sense in the world." Amara's eyes fill with tears. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying let me take care of you," Taehyun says. "Not because you need it. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met, but because I want to. Because you deserve someone who sees how extraordinary you are. Because I've spent 39 years winning everything, and the only thing I want to win now is your heart." "You already have it," Amara whispers. Taehyun cups her face. "Then let me keep it. Let me prove I deserve it." He kisses her, soft at first, then deeper, like he's been holding back for weeks and finally can't anymore. When they break apart, both breathing hard, Amara says, "I'm still keeping my job. I'm not going to be the girl who dates the boss and stops working." "I would never ask you to," Taehyun says. "Your talent is your own. I just want to support it." "And I'm not moving into some fancy penthouse," Amara continues. "I like my apartment." "We'll visit your apartment then," Taehyun agrees. "Though I should warn you, I'm told I snore." "We're not there yet," Amara says quickly. "I know," Taehyun smiles. "But eventually?" "Eventually," Amara agrees. Over the next 2 months, they date. Secretly at first because Amara wants to keep her work life separate. But then one of Taehyun's business partners sees them at dinner, and word spreads. The office gossip explodes. People whisper, judge, say Amara must have slept her way to her position. It hurts. Amara considers quitting, but then Taehyun calls a company-wide meeting, stands in front of everyone and says, "I'm dating Amara Okafor. I pursued her, not the other way around. Her position was earned through her exceptional work, which has increased our Nigerian market projections by 40%. Anyone who has a problem with our relationship can bring it to me personally. Anyone who disrespects her can leave the company." Nobody says another word. That night, Amara tells Taehyun, "You didn't have to do that." "Yes, I did," Taehyun says. "I won't let anyone diminish what you've accomplished. You're brilliant, and you're mine, and I protect what's mine." "Yours," Amara raises an eyebrow. "If you'll have me," Taehyun amends. "I'll think about it," Amara teases. But she's already decided. This man who bought her an $8 million pendant because it reminded her of her grandmother. This man who gave her a job when she had nothing. This man who looks at her like she hung the moon. She's his, and he's hers. 3 months later, Taehyun brings her to meet his grandfather, the real head of the Kang family, the man who built the empire. The grandfather is old, sharp, intimidating. "So, you're the rural girl who's captured my grandson's heart," he says in Korean. Taehyun translates. "I'm Amara," she replies through Taehyun, "and I love your grandson very much." "He wants to marry you," the grandfather continues, "make you part of this family. Do you understand what that means?" Amara looks at Taehyun. "Marriage?" "Eventually," Taehyun says, blushing slightly. "If you want. No pressure." Amara turns back to the grandfather. "I understand it means responsibility, legacy, expectations, but it also means family, and I've been alone for a long time." The grandfather studies her for a long moment. Then he nods. "You'll do. You have spine. The Kang family needs spine." That night, lying in Taehyun's arms in his penthouse that Amara finally agreed to visit, she says, "Did you tell your grandfather you want to marry me?" "I did," Taehyun admits. "When were you planning to tell me?" "When I was sure you wouldn't run away," Taehyun says. "You still might." "I'm not running," Amara says, "but I'm not saying yes to a proposal you haven't made yet." "Fair enough," Tae-hyun laughs. 6 months later, Tae-hyun takes Amara back to that auction house. The same room where they met. He's rented it for the night. Just the two of them. I wanted to bring you back to where it started, Tae-hyun says. Where I almost gave you a heart attack by bidding $8 million I didn't have, Amara jokes. Where you changed my life in 3 seconds, Tae-hyun corrects. He gets down on one knee, pulls out a ring. Amara Okafor, you challenged me with $47 and won everything I have to give. My heart, my respect, my future. Will you marry me? Amara's eyes fill with tears. Yes, absolutely, yes. He puts the ring on her finger, kisses her. And in that auction room where she once made the craziest bet of her life, Amara wins again. 1 year later, Amara stands in her village in Enugu. But it's different now. There's electricity, running water, a medical clinic, a school, all funded by the Kang Foundation, her foundation. Tae-hyun stands beside her, greeting villagers in broken Igbo he's been learning. He's established a technology center here, created jobs, made opportunities. You did this, Amara says, amazed. We did this, Tae-hyun corrects. This is your vision. I just provided resources. The village children run up to them. Amara picks up the smallest one, laughing. Tae-hyun watches her, his wife, his partner, his equal, and thinks she made $10 billion in 3 seconds. And I spent the rest of my life trying to deserve her. If you made it this far, you're incredible. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and comment telling me where you're watching from. And let me know, would you take a chance on someone completely out of your league? Because sometimes the craziest bets pay off in the best ways. See you in the next story.